In the last clip, I started to build out the display products component, but so far there is no way to query product data from the database, which is what is causing the component to get an error in Lightning App Builder. I'm about to fix that. But before I get too far, I want to remind you again that this is not a course about building Lightning Web Components. That means that this next clip may go a little fast for you if you are not already familiar with them. If that is the case, then you may want to stop and take some time to check out this course, where I have an entire module in which I go into details about working with Salesforce data. Back in Visual Studio Code, the first thing I will need to do is prepare my Scratch org to receive the specific data that I need to import by adding 2 custom fields to the Product2 standard table. I could do this by opening the default Scratch org and manually adding the fields in Object Manager, along with any required permissions. But to speed things up, I am instead going to copy in product metadata that I have copied from another org. And you can see that here if I scroll down to where the Objects folder is, and there's a Product2 folder within it, and that has all the information that I need in order to get this working in my particular Scratch org. And you can see if I expand fields here, there are 2 particular fields right here that are custom, and that's the MSRP and also the picture URL. To load these into my Scratch org, all I need to do is go up here to Command Palette and then push this source to my default Scratch org, since doing this pushes metadata as well as the actual code. Once that's successful, the next thing to do is to make sure my user has permissions to access these new custom fields. And the easiest way to do that is using a permission set. Just like with the Product2 fields, I have copied in a permission set from another org, which you can see here if I expand out the permission sets folder. To assign these permissions to my Scratch org user from the terminal window, I can just go here to Terminal, New Terminal, and then paste in the following command, and then hitting enter. After doing this, I am ready to load in the data that I need, and I have already used the CLI and terminal to do an export of product data from another developer org. The result is that I now have a data folder up here at the top in the root directory. And if I expand that out, you can see that there are 2 JSON files. The first one is the data plan, and when I open up that, you can see that it indicates what SObject needs to be imported along with what data file it contains. I will now open that data file, and here you can see there is data for several product records. To import this, I will need to go back to the terminal and paste in another command that can be used to actually import that data. And here I am specifying what org to import the data to, and I'm also pointing to the data plan file. Once I hit enter, I should see that it loaded products, and yes I do. And now that I have all the data in my Scratch org, I have to add some code to retrieve that data. And to do that, I will add an Apex class in the classes folder. So I'll right click classes and then go down here to create Apex class. The name of this class will be Product Controller. And I'll just replace this code with the code that I need for this particular one. And then I'm going to close this too so you can see all of it here. The getProducts method is used to return a list of Product2 object data. It accepts as input the search key variable. And inside the method, I have code to check whether a search key value was passed in, and if it was, a dynamic where clause is created using that value. Below that, I have a dynamically built database query that is executed and the results are returned. Now that I have all the server-side code in place, I can return back to the display products component, and this time I'm going to open up the client-side JavaScript controller where I don't have any code at this point. And the first thing I'll need to add is the wire service to the list of methods imported from the LWC module. Below that, I will need to paste in another import statement that is used to access the getProducts Apex method. Inside the component, I'm going to add a variable called search key, and this will be used as input for the getProducts method. Below that, a call to the wire service that will return that list of product data as a private variable named products. The only thing left to add now is a handler. And this is fired off whenever a user changes the search key value. I will switch back to the HTML, and since I have not yet added the product tile component and just want to show you that the Apex code is working, I will add code that just displays the name for each product that is retrieved. And to do that, I'll have to add a UL. And inside of the for each loop, I will just paste in a list command. And then of course I have to close that list. And now that I have all of this code, I will just save all my changes and push the code to the scratch org. Once that's been pushed, I can just go back again to the command palette and this time open the default org. And since I have already created a Lightning app page and added my display product component to it, I can just go to the app launcher and open up Sales in another tab. And once this renders, click that Display Products tab. And here you see I have a page that's rendered, and you can see that there's a search key box along with a list of product names. So stay with me for the next clip, where I will be adding the product tile component and also covering how to pass data from the parent to the child using public properties.